Hello, everyone. I am here with Rachel, and we have just completed her trading immersion for consistent profits. Rachel is a dear friend and took a chance on her own day trading journey. We actually started working together online last summer, and then she's just completed this immersion now. So I'm excited for her to share a few words about her experience. So, Rachel, welcome.
Thank you, Andy.
And I would love to know a little bit more about where you were at in that space between when we started working together online, you took a pause, and then where you were at before this trading immersion.
Totally. So, I guess for context, I didn't have any experience with trading before we started working together. So, it was a big undertaking to be learning something from scratch. So, the online part of it, I was excited about, but I had got to a point where I was feeling a little bit discouraged in the learning process. So, leading up to this experience, I honestly had some doubt if this was something that I was going to be able to internalize and learn. But yeah. So coming into the immersion, I was wondering if I was going to be able to put the pieces together, to be honest. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was the main thing that was really frustrating or not clicking for you?
Sure. So I think where I was getting stuck was recognizing where breakouts were being set up to create those demand zones. I was doubting my ability to interpret a chart and to know when to buy, when to sell, a lot of kind of those basic things that I was just tying myself into knots over. And working alone as we were doing the homework, there's just a lot of room for self doubt around, am I looking at the right chart? Am I tracking the right trend? Yeah. So those were some of the places I was stuck.
Gotcha. And then from these last few days that we've spent together, what would you say is really different now for you?
I would say as soon as we got in the room and I had a second set of eyes and on the charts that we were looking at, a lot of that self-doubt and confusions just like immediately melted. There's something really powerful about having affirmation as you go throughout this learning journey of, okay, I'm not making something up. Like the chart is actually giving you all the data that you need, and maybe there's just not a buy there today, and or maybe there's a bunch. So just having you in the room with me, and also being able to slow the world down and actually zone in on learning a new skill set was a complete game changer. I went almost within just a couple of hours of working together. It was like, oh my God, I actually have internalized a lot more than I realized. And yeah, I would say that was powerful to experience.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. What results or changes have you already noticed, if even small ones beyond that?
Yeah, I would say just like a much deeper sense of peace around the whole process. I feel like you've demystified the market and charts, something that we used to just feel like, no, I don't want to get involved with that because it's just risky. And now it's, oh, actually,
The
there's a
fog
lot.
has lifted, the sun
Yeah,
has come out, you can see the light
exactly.
in the market.
And see the light. And actually, there's more solid ground than we often give the market credit for.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you really helped me understand where that ground is and what it looks like.
Okay,
Oh,
wonderful.
yeah.
And I'd love to know from your experience doing this, coming in as a total beginner, never having looked at the markets or even working with a trading mentor, who would you recommend this type of experience for and why?
Yeah, honestly, I'll just say this, like having you as a friend and knowing your character going into this was a huge incentive for even going on this journey. The fact is there's probably a lot of people out there that are feeling worried about getting scammed because there are a lot of scams, and getting into day trading often feels like you're learning how to gamble because you don't have the foundation or the strategy. And so being in a teaching environment or being taught by someone that I trust, whose character I trust, was like a huge reason why I chose to do this. And I would say to anybody that has never taken a bet on themselves, never had the chance to invest in their financial freedom, financial literacy, or has just life just hasn't slowed down enough to give you a chance to learn this skill set. I would say that anyone in that category, basically, if you're scared, if it's confusing, if you are curious at all but have no background in it, Andy has put together an incredible system to help you go from zero to just peaceful confidence, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, anyone in that category with a lot of self doubt who feels like you're not, like the market's not, you're not allowed to benefit from it, or you're just not that type of person, I feel like you have created an incredible bridge to bring people feeling on the outside to feeling like they also can and build wealth. That's the goal.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put this together if I didn't go through that journey myself and was looking for someone to help me out when I couldn't see the forest from the trees. I'm really glad that you've been able to receive that experience and be able to, yeah, just have more confidence and be able to lean into the market more rather than when you're confused, lean out and get confused and not know what to do and internalize it, like you said. So I'm curious now if there was one thing that you would say to the older version of yourself from a week ago before you got on the flight and came out here to do this
Yeah.
immersion, what would you say to yourself?
I would just tell her I'm really proud of her for pushing past that feeling of just doubt and discouragement around it all. I'm really proud of her for showing up and yeah, and for just doing the work. This is just that's the biggest thing I would say is I'm proud of her for taking the risk. Definitely. Yeah. I'm really curious and excited to build on the foundation that we've laid.
Absolutely. Big things are coming. Last one for you on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you had the worst experience ever here, and you think you're going to go home and lose all your money in the market, and 10 being, wow, I had the most amazing experience, and I feel really confident stepping into my shoes as a consistent and profitable trader. How would you rate your overall experience of this consistent profits immersion?
Yeah, overall experience is a 10 out of 10. I cannot emphasize enough how important it's been for me to have a guide, a teacher, somebody who has been so caring from the very beginning to the very end, the intention that I have felt from you throughout the process, from our learning models to the breaks that you built into it. Like you really took me on a holistic journey that took into account my learning style, my nervous system, building in breaks, making sure that there was just the right amount of information over the right amount of time, and really making sure that I felt nourished and nurtured and cared throughout that whole process just has blown a whole world wide open for me. And I really can't emphasize enough, like anyone who's interested in this world, get yourself a guide like Andy who will be sensitive to all those things the whole way through.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much,
thank
Rachel.
you.
Yeah, appreciate you so much. I'm so proud of all of your progress and taking all the leaps that you have. And may you jump into many beautiful places and unlock all the fruits and wealth that the market has to give you.
Thank you, my friend.
All right.